Welcome back to Jason Frudnick's Underground Adventures. When last we left our intrepid Frudnick, we'd reached Area 2, which, if you've seen the original, looks very different. Namely, there are normally spikes down here. We are tracking Fred the Frog. And currently our Fred radar has changed from blue to yellow, so we're on the right track. Welcome to Area 2, the residential area, which conveniently has walls we can't break already, so we already need to go find a new upgrade. This zone, every time I've played this game, for some reason, I've gotten lost. And I don't specifically mean just the NES one. This is a maze, first and foremost, which is why I keep stressing like the importance of how good it is that this has a map. There's a lot of zones you can't quite access because of the rubble, but also the map itself is in a spot that every time I've played through it on Zero, I've missed it. Like, it's been like the last thing I've gotten in the zone. So hopefully this time around, we actually kind of curb that, because it would be nice. Even the time I streamed this and showed it off to people, I went the wrong way. Well, we'll find out, because here we go. The first cave. As you can see, all of our weaponry from before came through, and again, the wave beam proving itself to be the superior beam. No new enemies as of yet. By the time we start digging through the stage, you'll start seeing some different things, but right now, again, easing us in pretty good. Turrets here alternate taking shots. Actually, come to think of it, the turrets are new, aren't they? Good lord. Oh, thank goodness this time I actually did it correctly. Map 2, a map of the residential area. I don't know why I miss such an obvious location for that every time I've played through this. I think it's because I see the tunnel, I pop in, realize it goes on for a bit, and then I'm like, oh, it must go to some other path, so double back, and I never just continue and look to see if it's there. So thank goodness we have that damn map, because this is gonna make things a lot simpler. Because as you can see, oh, hang on. Oh, that's weird. The signal coming from here is gone. Nothing to do except head for where this other signal's coming from then. As you can see, this one's got a lot of doorways. A lot of like traveling back and forth, and with them, some of the paths being collapsed, it does get a bit confusing after a while, and that is the goof that I made pretty much every time, so it makes this zone take a lot longer than it needs to. What is that diamond? Item. Okay, cool. All right, let's hop back in Sophia and let's go. Well, now that we have the map, I feel a little bit better. But now we're gonna start dealing with enemies that are conveniently below your attack range. Say hello to these worms here. He says as none show up. Your shots conveniently go over them. Oh, they're not as bad as they are in the original Blaster Master. All right, that's good. In the original Blaster Master, they literally turned around the second you jumped over them. So you would jump, oh no, they do. They still do. They're just a bit slower. Oh, look at that. Yeah, in the original Blaster Master, you could jump over them and then they would be still so fast to turn around, you would still get hit by them 9 times out of 10. So you had to time your missiles just right. That's the easiest way to attack them. You have also, of course, have the Thundercracker. I don't care if that's actually not its name, I'm gonna keep calling it that, because it does do that. It's actually another good time to use it. Thunder Break. I'm gonna call it, you know what? I'm just gonna call it right now. I'm never gonna get that name right. I'm gonna keep calling it the Thundercracker. I think that's actually a Mega Man X weapon. This stuff. Very damaging, if you're not careful. You can jump out of it, thankfully, but in the original game, that thing absorbs your health very quickly. It does 2 notches of damage each time. And also, it eats your inputs, which is the other crummy thing. making it very tough to deal with. And considering in the original game, you did not get health extensions at all, any health lost is bad. What's our options here? Yeah, let's go up. We're pretty much gonna go into every zone anyways, because we gotta make sure we get the health extension. We gotta make sure we don't miss any specific power-ups that we're gonna want. Because eventually, I think in this zone, we're gonna get the weapon we're really gonna want for Sophia for a while. All right, next up. Let's break some more walls. These cigarette-looking designs. Here are some flies, they're dead. Here's some more flies. They're dead. As long as we can hang on to this thing, I don't think we're gonna have anything to worry about for a while. Not that the enemies at this point are really that challenging, because again, you've seen their patterns are pretty standard. These guys stay grouped together, spinning around the anchor point. You can split them up, unless your shot just kills them all. Then at that point, there ain't no helping them. But let's see what we have to fight here instead. Drop a Pokeball. We have to fight the ocean. The pink ocean. The Bibby Legion. Another just wave and wave of standard enemies. Again, just stay careful. Just stay away. Take advantage of your shots, whichever weapon you have. Deal with every Legion as they show up. Also, I didn't show off the Thundercracker earlier. It's kinda good. It's kinda good. We're actually just gonna stick with this. I actually forgot how good that was, because I got so used to using the wave beam. Wow. All that for the homing missiles. A sub-weapon that fires a missile that pursues its target enemy. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the last standard item from the original game we were looking for. That's weird. Signal come from here is gone. Nothing to do except head for where this other signal's coming from. You can see where this is going for the zone. The homing missiles are exactly that. Homing missiles. Thank God. Again, in the original Blaster Master, you started with 3 weapons, the 3 sub-weapons we have now. Tri-missile, the Thundercracker, I told you I'm gonna keep doing that, and the homing missiles. They all have their own separate ammo, and they all use different amounts of ammo depending on how many they shot, but they were pretty effective. Unless you jumped off screen when they were firing, then they pretty much did jack all. Like you may have noticed just then. But, oh no, they actually do take 2 hits, never mind. What you're really gonna use this one for is for attacking enemies that are too low for you to hit with your shots normally. But as you've also noticed, their power is not up there with any of the other missiles. So be careful how crazy you go with the missiles. But you can fire as many as you want, so. Let's just, let's get some samples going here, why not? Yeah, 1 missile attacks that guy. Can I get 2 guys to attack? Nope. If you want to just waste all your ammo, by all means, just go for it. What is the description the game gives this anyways? Fires a missile that pursues its target. In the original game, it actually fired as many as it saw enemies on screen. So if it saw 5 enemies, it fired 5 missiles. Here, just 1 at a time. So it's not worth it in the grand scheme. Notice I did more damage with that than 2 homing missiles, so. But at least the homing missiles make sure you can stay at a range. And you also don't have to keep second guessing your shot like I've done a bunch. All right, Jason, let's go get another item. Back to wave beam. Notice that pink goo we saw earlier. Now it's a threat. It's some sort of acid. Touching it will do damage to you, which means you also lose your gun upgrade, so be very careful. Or you can just walk into it like an idiot, like I just did. That also works wonders. Let's go back to Thundercracker. This is just called Thunder, right? Oh, it's called. Oh, this is Striker. Great. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get none of them right. Once these are fading, you're more or less safe to step on them. And while they're fading in, you're also safe for a little bit, but you gotta be careful. We'll just wait. Basically, as soon as you've seen those cracks appear or disappear, you're safe to walk on it. Yeah, please just give me back wave beam. Now you can see they're actually gonna start using the platforms here. And start breaking away stuff so you can actually get protected from the goo. Stay away from the goo. Instead, get to the boss. Is this the boss? I think it is. No. Okay, good. Warning. Crabulus. If you're wondering, is this a really awkward pose to hold while doing this? The answer is yes. I literally am I'm taking my hand off the D-pad so I can mash both grenades and shot at the same time to speed this up. Well, now I don't need to worry about it because I lost my weapon. Fortunately, the extra flame damage should do some work here for me. Not all that much though, huh? Let's switch back to Striker. Yeah, not that much damage. I'm just gonna use Tiny Shot. You earned a normal shot. You earned a normal shot, Death. And all that for the laser shot, a shot that can pierce through terrain. Hold the shoot button to charge it, then release to fire. Yet another Sophia upgrade. And again, the signal coming from here is gone. It's almost like we're being led to these places specifically. Now we can finally change our standard shot to laser. A laser that can pierce through, it's just the same message you saw earlier. We can charge it, and indeed, it does go through walls, or hits multiple targets if you have them lined up, which is conveniently why they're doubling down all these enemies here. But if you've probably noticed, when we're not charging, our shot is still standard. So really, it doesn't hurt to have it equipped. Just realize that now you have a buster shot, essentially. Let's see here. I think we have to go do that first, but let's find out. So one thing of note, you might think this is what breaks the rocks. Nope, still not powerful enough. Which means we can't go through that tunnel yet. It might also mean we can't do the one up here. Let's find out. Uh-oh, it's making a noise. Warmer. Warmer. Oh, shoot. Bad thing to miss with. Does make those things real fun to kill, though. Not gonna lie. We've gone yellow. Thankfully, this also does not use any of your special weapon power-ups, so that would be awful if it did. But since your special weapons also mainly could go through these, it's a trade-off, really, if you want to waste that. That one's your call there at that point. But since it's more or less free, just do what you want, honestly. I'm not your mom. I'd be concerned if I was. And much better. Ugh. Eventually you get a way to deal with these things normally. Oh, did I actually pick the story relevant one? Oops. Screw it. We'll just get this out of the way then. Meant to do this one last. Huh, what's this signal now? I don't know why, but this signal seems different from the one I've been following up until now. Now I'm all curious. I think I'll go have a look-see. As you might have noticed, we're trapped in here, which means we're getting some way out of here by doing this dungeon. Let's go, Jason. Uh-oh. Sometimes it's just faster to do that. Oh, you chose poorly. Oh, barely, though. Cutting it close on that. How big's this zone? This one's a biggie! Oh. And we still have Thundercracker. I wasn't kidding. I seriously wasn't. Striker is doing great. Except it really doesn't like dealing with these squares as much. And you can only have one shot at a time. You know what? I'm actually gonna switch to piercing. Sniper mode, basically. Until we get wave beam back. Still works with those pretty good. I just like the chain lightning. I like the chain lightning as an attack. It's real good. Oh, you know what? The item I'm probably thinking of is actually in that one dungeon we didn't do. Oops-a-doodle. I'm sorry, I'm going back. That square's gonna bother me if I don't do it. And it was totally worth it. Nice. I do find at least the more often you have to go out of your way in this game, the more it tends to be worth it. You can ignore doing all the dungeons except for the super necessary ones, but I feel like you'll be a much weaker tank and or Jason as a result. And no one wants to be a weak Jason. Not even the weak Jasons. Thank you. Wave beam back. Really just cuts through everything like butter. It's just so nice. Oh, and now for a mini maze. Ah, dang it. Well, that was my fault. I just stood there and took the shot multiple times. And try to clear all the squares. You definitely do not need to do all the squares in this one, but at least it'll probably give us our wave beam back, which is good, because we are gonna be fighting a well. Yeah, the map wasn't gonna show that, huh? Because at the very least, we know for a fact we've got a boss coming up in this one. He's got a big room and a room after him, which means something important's up there. We know at the very least it's gonna give us the ability to get out of the room we're stuck in with Sophia, so we got to at least get ready for that. Nice. I will admit, it's probably surprising no one, I did have a weapon preference when I played through this game, as did most people, and I really didn't experiment too much with the other guns. That was actually one of the things I promised I was going to do when I did this LP, was to actually try out using the other guns in other situations, and it is nice to know that they do have their uses. Although I'm gonna be real, this beam's still really fucking good. Well, as you can see, unless we want to take damage, we're not taking that shortcut. So we got the long way to go. Thankfully, it's not that bad. And I'll loop back around there. We're good. Whoop, Jason. Cutting it close there. Again, if you don't mind, like, taking the extra damage, like, by all means, take the shortcut. I'm sure the speedrunners probably do that, although the speedrunners also don't go out of their way to grab items like I've been doing. Also, they usually don't get hit unless it's on purpose. So, all moot points, I think, at this point. As you can see, we could have taken this upper path way earlier and gone straight there if we didn't mind taking a little bit of extra damage. And now, to run away from the ocean. The motion of the ocean is in fact murder this time around, so move as quickly as you can. It's not the fastest, though, as you've probably noticed, and probably expected. Okay, one side room, but otherwise it is straight through this room. I don't think any of my Thundercracker shots are gonna reach. No Striker shots are gonna reach. Now they will, though. Oh, I might have taken too long, though. As you've noticed, it will only attack enemies within the vicinity on screen. If the game doesn't know that anyone's there, it's not gonna attack. You feeling lucky? I am, because I already have everything. I don't need any of that. Bye. But a good way to power up. And of course, every time you re-enter the room, it's reset, so. You might have also been noticing a random ringing noise whenever we shoot certain enemies. That is them getting actually stun locked. Certain enemies do take extra stun damage whenever they get hit by certain weapons. Usually, you'll notice most enemies that have that effect get it from your wave shot. Anytime that happens, that means they cannot attack, and you're pretty much, if you want to ignore them, can just walk past them. All right, caught a Jason. We got all the map. Let's fight a boss. The Area 2 boss. Whoa, that's a huge mutant! The signal is coming from there, too! Guess I'm gonna have the fight. Warning. The lair of the toxic vermin. Crabulus. Crabulus has arms that are normally would block shots, but wave beam. As you notice, we've already destroyed the arms. Unfortunately, there's gonna be a loud, grating, ringing noise for the rest of this. But since wave beam shots just go through the body anyways, you can attack from anywhere, unless you're an idiot like me and just don't notice the fact that the claw is actually hitting you and you just lose 2 of your upgrades. All right. Change plans. Piercing shot is the enemy's weakness. Direct stunning effect, direct death. That's why you always experiment with your weapons. Crusher shot. This powers up Sophia's main weapon. You can now destroy a certain type of wall. Conveniently, the wall we were stuck behind. So now we're good there. But notice, the door in front of us also opened. What's a person doing here? A lovely little, I was gonna say animated cutscene, but I guess it's just a still image. A lovely still image for us. Hey, I'm here to help. Are you all right? Damn it, come on, please open your eyes. From the moment I held her in my arms, my blaster rifle began to emit this brilliant light. Okay, this is kind of reading like a euphemism. I think I've been around my wife for too long. And that's not helping anything at all. Jesus. The light was getting bigger and bigger and totally enveloped us. Surprise! What's going on? Huh? What? Thank goodness you're awake. You can do it. You can finish the sentence. Let's get you over to Sophia for now. Hang in there. Just don't mind all the pink and purple acid. Hop in. This is my tank. Man, who is this girl? It seemed like the signal came from her. The blaster rifle reacted to her. Somehow, I think this girl and Sophia are connected. Who are you? How did I? Don't worry, everything's okay. When you're feeling up to it, I want to hear your story. And then she felt up to it and told us her story. Thank you for helping me. Can I ask you your name? Sure, I'm Jason Frudnick. You can call me Jason. What, you don't want to be called Frudnick? This is your chance, buddy. Own that nickname. Be the best Frudnick around. I'm Eve. Got it. Don't mean to rush you, Eve, but there's a lot I need to ask you. And now, I listened to her story, found out the reason why she's here, and found out she seems to have lost a lot of her memory. On top of that, when it comes to tuning up and doing maintenance on Sophia, her skills blow mine out of the water. It's so strange, though. I feel like I remember this sensation, and that's her story. I still feel like I have a lot more to learn about her, though. Hey, Jason, I'm finished tuning up Sophia. Thanks, Eve. By the way, now that you're back on your feet, what are you gonna do now? Well, if it's okay with you, do you think I'd be able to join you? You helped me so much back there. I want to return the favor. If you're using Sophia to find Fred, she's just so cool with us using this tank to find Fred. Like, why is everyone so cool with us looking for a frog with a tank? I'm happy to hear that, but there's a good chance we're gonna have to fight some mutants. Ah, yes. A good chance. Maybe just as dangerous. No, probably even more dangerous than what happened here. I know, but if you're in danger, I might be able to save you too. She's absolutely right. I'm bound to run into things that I won't be able to do on my own going forward. If it was dangerous for her on her own, then I'm sure it'll be just as dangerous for me too. Going together is the way to do it. But I wonder why she's so eager to lend me a hand. I guess that's a no then. In that case, if you leave me, come on, don't say stuff like that. I want you to help me out. As much as I was being very blunt in my teasing earlier, Jason very much has a crush on Eve. Oh, okay, you got it. Leave it to me. And now, looks like Fred's signal is coming from a different area now. I think it's the industrial area. Industrial area, huh? Okay, let's go check it out. One more thing. If you want to talk to me, choose the receiver icon from the subscreen. There's lots of stuff I'd love to talk about with you, so I'm here to chat anytime you want to talk. So from here on out, remember this area where we had a receiver that seemed kind of useless? Now it actually does something. We can actually talk to Eve whenever we want. Eve is literally in Sophia the Third with us, in the seat behind it. She literally has her own seat, her own computer, and her own desk with plants and everything. And she will tell you about every weapon you have found in the game. And also every weapon upgrade Jason has when he's using his gun. So it's usually a more detailed breakdown of every item you have. So if there's anything you ever want to know about any of the power-ups, talk to Eve. You don't have to talk to Eve if you don't want to. It's all basically just fluff text. But it's honestly not that bad in the way of fluff text. The only problem is, since you've already done so much to start with, she has so much dialogue to start with this all just based off of whatever weapons you're carrying. So we're gonna try to be a little sparing with those, probably every time we go to the pause menu, chat with her, instead of just having like a giant dump of talking to Eve about weapon upgrades. But again, if it's your first time through the game, you'll probably learn something about a weapon you might not have paid attention to. And also, you might have noticed now we have the Crusher shot. This is the biggest our shot's gonna get, our default shot, at least that is. And now, we still can't hit enemies that are on the grip. I thought we could with that one, oops. My bad. But now at least every path is open to us in this world, in Area 2 here, so. And we can still use our charge beam with that. So let's see what we have left on the map. We'll clear out World 2, and then we'll move on. Because you can obviously see where it wants us to go. Just thinking here for a second. Yeah, that's what we'll do, okay. Our Fred receiver obviously no longer working. Because we know it's Fred isn't in this zone. It's just gonna stay there lit up. Looking like a do not sign. Oops, oops, oops. Now I'm getting a little too cavalier. I don't know what it is, but every time I get a new power-up, I'm just start absorbing damage. And now we've absorbed too much. I would rather not die on the relatively easy part of the game. Okay, where we need to go to continue the game is to the right, but we're gonna go to the left to get some power-ups. I'm actually gonna switch over to homing missile just in case. There we go, a little bit of health. Oh, that time it was 1. Oh, right, because I think the power of the homing missiles goes up with the power of your blaster shot? I think. We're gonna find out. We'll test that in a little bit here. But first, let's go to this cave, because I'm pretty sure this is something very important in here. Well, I can test this now. Yep, shot power has indeed gone up. This tunnel, one long hallway. But the item it contains is very important. Actually, don't even need to mess with the enemies. We can just run through here. Also, this is a really good jam that I completely forgot about. And then that's why I ran into that enemy. Because I'm smart. This item right here is the energy guard. Prevent your gun level from dropping when taking damage. Critical item in this game. Super, super helpful. Guard disappears after one hit, but it will regenerate again over time. Our HUD now has this lovely, like, pink bar around it now. It's like reddish pink. And anytime we take a hit, we no longer instantly lose a gun level. This is going to change how long we can hang on to our wave beam because it makes it almost trivial at that point. It was so powerful in the sequel, I'm pretty sure they actually like put in an option to turn it off because some people thought it was a little too good. But we're gonna be taking hella advantage of it here. It's nice to have that actually be more powerful now. Wrong button, all right. Well, we might as well just close that loop first. Eve, tell me about something. Or I could press the wrong button again. Homing missile. With this sub-weapon, you can fire a missile that will pursue its target until it makes contact. It's a super useful weapon, but if you get too trigger happy, you'll find your SP gauge depleted in no time flat. Hence, letting you know that you can just mash the damn button. But it does make dealing with those things very easy. And of course, now that we've done this, back to where we started. Well, some more health I can grab at least. Get Sophia's health back up. Make up for my Cavalier driving earlier. So the only thing left we have to do in this zone now is to go get that health extension. We also could have gotten that and filled up Sophia's health, so that would also work as a top-up, but I figured we'd just go with what we got. Since we were already making the detour anyways, we would just go grab those. Can't go up that way. And can't go up this way either. Ooh. Then how do we get that, I wonder? The answer is, right now you can't. You just gotta ignore it for now. But we'll figure out what to do about that later. For now, let's go and hit the screen transition to go to Area 3, and then we'll stop the episode there. We've got our new partner, Eve. And we've got an even more powerful shot for our tank. Let's go find our frog friend in Area 3. Jason, looks like Fred's signal is coming from this vicinity. Is there any way we can get a more specific location? Well, looks like I can only receive the signal, not trace it. Sorry, this is the best I can do. Hey, it's not your fault. We'll just have to search for him the old-fashioned way. Hang on a second. It looks like the systems here are still in operation. They've been so for a while. Let's stay on alert. Never know what might happen. Well, there's conveyor belts, so we'll probably be moved in opposite directions. That's gonna do it for tonight. I don't know why I said tonight. You're probably watching this in the daytime. It's 1 a.m. here. This is prime streaming time for me. That's probably why I said tonight. Eve, before we bounce, leave us with a word of wisdom. Tell us about... Oh, actual plot. Now that I think about it, Jason, why are you searching for Fred like this anyways? Yes, thank you! Thank you for realizing this is really fucking weird! Whoops, I guess I never really explained it, huh? Yeah, you didn't. It's just my theory, but I think that Fred is a type of creature that was supposed to have gone extinct a long time ago. I'm no biologist, but I think Fred could be a clue in regards to the restoration of a lost ecosystem. That's why I need to find him and bring him home safely. I see, so that's why you need to find him sooner rather than later. Okay. That makes a bit more sense than I honestly expected, and I'd forgotten that the game even kind of gave you a reason for that. I still think it's really silly he's using the tank, but I guess considering how many mutants and monsters we're dealing with, maybe he made the right choice here. Finding Sophia, my encounter with mutants, meeting Eve, all this happened because I crossed paths with Fred. I really don't know how Fred, Sophia, and Eve are all connected, but I think I'll keep quiet about that. For now. Yeah, we don't know if we can trust her yet. But for now, let's park this tank. Catch y'all next time for episode 3 of Frudnick's Fun Ride. See you guys then.
Slippy can be such a headache.